Since I've been a little girl, I never would go against you. And I think I'm really fed up.
When you got millions in the bank and your face on every billboard, the last thing you'd expect is your own seed putting you on blast. But that's exactly what happened when these rappers' kids got fed up with the broken promises and grabbed their phones to expose shocking secrets about their pops. Let's start with Dr. Dre and daughter LaTanya Young. When you think of Dr. Dre, you're probably thinking about legendary beats, classic albums, and a business empire worth nearly $1 billion. But in 2021, the whole world had to face a much darker reality when his eldest daughter, LaTanya Young, came forward with some news that seemed impossible to believe given her father's crazy wealth. At 38 years old, LaTanya revealed in interviews that she was homeless despite her father being a billionaire music mogul and entrepreneur. Let that marinate for a second, fam. The daughter of one of the most successful producers in hip-hop history was living out of her rental SUV while grinding multiple gig jobs as a delivery driver for DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Postmates just to keep food on the table. She explained that she hadn't received any financial support from Dr. Dre since January 2020, and before that, the help had been inconsistent and weak, usually going through his team rather than coming directly from him. The contrast between LaTanya's situation and her father's wealth became a major topic, with commentators expressing straight-up disbelief.
Dr. Dre's estranged daughter says she can't afford an apartment and is living out of her rental car. How do you feel as a 38-year-old woman sleeping in your car, a rental car, and your father is a billionaire, almost a billionaire?
LaTanya stated she hadn't spoken directly to her pops in over 17 years, despite trying repeatedly to reach out and reconnect. She claims she ain't even have his cell phone number and had to communicate through his team, which only made her feel more abandoned. The single mother of 4 shared her story with outlets like the Daily Mail, posting photos of her living situation and expressing hope for some kind of resolution. When it came to why Dre wouldn't help his own daughter, reports indicated his team gave a specific reason for cutting off support.
He will not give her money because she has spoken negatively about him in the press. I feel like you should have a trust for your children. If you have that much money, every single child should have a trust. All of them.
Dr. Dre ain't publicly respond to these claims at the time, and as of 2026, no public reconciliation has been reported, leaving this as one of the most troubling examples of alleged parental neglect in the game. While LaTanya Young struggled to get financial support from her wealthy father, this next case involves a son who made it real clear that money was never what he was after in the first place. 50 Cent and son Marquise Jackson. The ongoing public beef between 50 Cent and his son, Marquise Jackson, has become one of the most talked about father-son conflicts in entertainment history, stretching back well over a decade with no resolution in sight. For years, Marquise been using social media platforms like Instagram to call out his pops for what he describes as emotional neglect and putting his celebrity status and business empire over genuine family bonds. The tension goes back to a nasty custody battle in the early 2000s between 50 Cent and Marquise's mother, Shaniqua Tompkins, and it's only gotten worse with time. In 2022, Marquise made headlines when he offered $600-700, the exact amount of his monthly child support at the time, to spend just 24 hours with his father. It was a symbolic move that highlighted what he described as a lack of real emotional connection, rather than wanting financial provision. Marquise wanted everybody to understand that his issues went way deeper than bread. When asked about what he truly wanted from his pops, Marquise made his priorities crystal clear.
He believes that, from his perspective, he thinks I'm entitled when that's not the case. Like, it's never been about the money for me. It's more so the relationship and for me personally.
The most recent flare-up went down on Father's Day 2025 when Marquise posted a sarcastic AI-generated betting slip on social media, clowning the odds of 50 Cent ever publicly acknowledging him or fixing their relationship, comparing it to a high-stakes gamble where the house always wins. He accused his pops of cutting him out the will and failing to provide guidance throughout his whole life. Despite years of public conflict, Marquise has said he's still open to the possibility of reconciliation, even if it seems unlikely.
Honestly, I don't know what to expect from this situation. If we do have a sit down, I don't necessarily know what to expect or what it looks like. But if it takes me paying him for his time, I'm more than willing to do that. Maybe we can just gain understanding of each other.
50 Cent clapped back at the ongoing criticism by noting he paid over $1 million in child support overall and blaming Marquise's moms for turning his son against him. Despite occasional hints at reconciliation from both sides, nothing's been resolved, and the painful back and forth keeps exposing the raw wounds of their broken bond. While Marquise Jackson deals with the pain of an estranged father who's still alive, this next case involves a son grappling with the complicated legacy of a pops who passed away decades ago. Big Pun and son Chris Rivers. The relationship between the late Bronx rapper Big Pun and his son Chris Rivers has been publicly explored through Chris's music and interviews, particularly highlighting the complex and painful legacy of domestic violence within their family. In November 2017, Chris dropped the music video for Fear of My Crown from his album DeLorean, which graphically depicted a multi-generational cycle of physical and emotional abuse in a household setting. Chris, who was only 5 years old when Big Pun passed in 2000 from a heart attack related to obesity, drew from his personal experiences growing up in what he described as an extremely abusive household. He spoke openly about witnessing the subtle nuances and major effects of abuse, including confidence issues, depression, self-worth struggles, and trauma that often gets swept under the rug in families that don't want to confront uncomfortable truths. The video and song sparked major controversy and mixed reactions throughout the hip-hop community. Some fans praised Chris for his bravery in addressing taboo topics like domestic violence and child abuse, seeing it as an important conversation starter. However, others came at him hard for seemingly tarnishing his father's iconic reputation as one of the greatest lyricists in hip-hop history, accusing him of disrespecting the dead. In response to the backlash and misconceptions about his intentions, Chris dropped a clarifying video statement on November 9th, 2017. He emphasized that while the song was inspired by real-life experiences and aimed to raise awareness about abuse, the visual wasn't meant to be a literal depiction of his own family, or Big Pun specifically, but rather a broader representation designed to help victims feel seen and empowered to break the cycle in their own lives. Chris reiterated his love and respect for his father's musical legacy, noting in interviews that he honors Pun through his own career while confronting painful realities to prevent history from repeating. As of 2026, Chris continues dropping music that balances homage to his legendary pops with deeply personal introspection about his upbringing. While Chris Rivers dealt with the trauma of his childhood through his art, this next rapper's daughter took to social media in real time to expose what she described as ongoing emotional abuse from her famous father. Boosie Badazz and daughter Toriana Hatch. Yo, we gotta talk about one of the most wild and straight up disrespectful family beefs to ever go down on the gram. In August of 2023, the whole internet was bugging when Boosie Badazz's daughter, Toriana Hatch, who was only 16 years old at the time, decided to hop on Instagram Live and put her pops on full blast about some family drama that had been brewing behind closed doors. What Shorty revealed during that live session had everybody in their feelings and questioning everything they thought they knew about the rapper as a father figure. During the live stream, Toriana played an audio recording of a phone conversation with her father that was straight up foul. In the recording, Boosie could be heard going off on his teenage daughter, calling her a bitch and threatening to put hands on her by saying he would black her eye if she kept up what he saw as disrespectful behavior. He also said he was cutting her out the will and stopping all financial support going forward. That audio clip spread through the internet like wildfire, and folks everywhere were calling Boosie out for emotional abuse and toxic parenting toward his own seed. But Boosie wasn't about to let his daughter have the last word in this very public situation. Shortly after Toriana's live went viral, Boosie hopped on his own Instagram Live to confirm the recording was real and doubled down on everything he said. He admitted to taking back a Mercedes-Benz he had previously blessed her with for her birthday, saying it was consequences for her being ungrateful and choosing to stay with her moms instead of under his roof. He justified his approach as that tough love from his Louisiana upbringing. In her emotional live video, Toriana made it crystal clear that while her pops might provide for his kids materially, there was a major void when it came to emotional and mental support.
You gonna make sure your kids straight. You always gonna do that. But emotionally, mentally, you suck. You suck, bruh.
Toriana's words hit different different, revealing a side of their father-daughter relationship that most fans never witnessed before. She expressed frustration that her pops would rather chop it up with interviewers and podcast hosts than sit down with her directly. The beef extended beyond the initial lives, with Boosie dropping a diss track aimed at Toriana and her moms, escalating the drama even further. As of early 2026, ain't no reports indicating any resolution between them, leaving fans wondering if this father-daughter bond can ever be fixed. While Toriana struggled to get her father's emotional attention despite him being alive and well, this next rapper's son took a similar approach after claiming he spent over a decade being completely ignored. Ghostface Killah and son Infinite Coles. In May of 2023, the hip-hop world was shook when Infinite Coles, the son of Wu-Tang Clan legend Ghostface Killah, hopped on Instagram to air out deep grievances against his father in a raw, emotional post that left fans stunned. Infinite accused Ghostface of being a chronic, deadbeat dad, detailing what he described as a lifetime of neglect and abandonment that caused him mad pain. The accusations were heavy and painted a troubling picture of the legendary rapper's role as a father.
The biggest deadbeat in the world, let him tell it. He said he's the biggest deadbeat in the world, never did anything for him. During COVID, he was sleeping in a shelter. They've been homeless, having their gas turned off, never gave him $1.
In his lengthy Instagram post, Infinite claimed he hadn't had a real conversation or visit with Ghostface in over 15 years, despite trying repeatedly to reach out via text and calls. He shared screenshots of unanswered messages spanning a whole decade as proof of his father's alleged neglect, showing everybody how many times he tried and failed to connect with the man who gave him life. Infinite described growing up broke without basic utilities like light and gas, claiming Ghostface let his kids struggle while relying on uncles to provide sporadic support. He highlighted a particularly rough period during the 2020 COVID pandemic when he lived in a homeless shelter for nearly a year, with no outreach from his pops to check on him or offer any help. What made Infinite's plea especially heartbreaking was that he kept emphasizing his grievances weren't about money at all.
He's crying out for help, seeming like he just needs a father. Say he doesn't want his money, he just wants his love.
Infinite later shared that Ghostface had blocked him after his post, which only made him more determined to speak his truth publicly. The saga continued into 2025, when Infinite channeled his pain into music, dropping tracks like Sweet Face Killer that addressed the estrangement. As of January 2026, no public reconciliation has occurred, and Ghostface stayed silent on the matter. While Infinite Coles used social media and music to express his pain with no resolution in sight, this next case shows that sometimes these family beefs can actually lead to healing. Master P and son Romeo Miller. The highly emotional and public beef between No Limit Records founder Master P and his son Romeo Miller went down intensely in December 2022 on social media, triggered by the family's profound grief over the death of Romeo's sister, Titiana Miller, earlier that year. Titiana passed away from an accidental fentanyl overdose at age 29, leaving the entire family devastated and searching for answers about what could have been done differently. In the midst of processing this tragic loss, Romeo hopped on Instagram stories to accuse his pops of neglecting the family's mental health needs, specifically blaming Master P for not prioritizing adequate support and therapy for Titiana during her long struggles with substance abuse and mental illness. Romeo believed more could have been done to save his sister if only the family had addressed these issues head-on, instead of pushing through with a tough exterior. Romeo expressed deep frustration that Master P focused more on empire building and public statements about perseverance than on addressing internal family pain. He highlighted feeling unsupported himself, stating that money and fame couldn't heal generational trauma, and that the family needed real emotional intervention rather than Master P's frequent social media sermons on toughness and resilience. Master P responded with a lengthy Instagram statement offering reconciliation and extending an olive branch to his grieving son. He emphasized forgiveness, expressed love for all his children, and noted the overwhelming grief the family was enduring, while defending his efforts and subtly suggesting external influences or misunderstandings had fueled the divide. The beef, though brief and emotionally charged, appeared to resolve relatively quickly as both parties stepped back from public confrontations. By 2023 and into 2025, signs of mending emerged, including joint appearances and performances at Essence Festival 2025, where father and son collaborated on stage. Further confirmation came in late 2025 interviews, where Master P reflected on fully squashing the beef and acknowledged personal growth on both sides. As of early 2026, their relationship appears solid and healthy, turning what could have been a permanently painful chapter into one of healing and continued collaboration. While Master P and Romeo Miller found their way back to each other through grief, this next rapper's daughter took a different approach, exposing her father's hypocrisy with no reconciliation in sight even years later. Uncle Luke and daughter Cree Campbell. Back in June of 2010, Miami rap pioneer Uncle Luke, also known as Luther Campbell, found himself at the center of a family scandal when his then 18-year-old daughter, Lucretia Cree Campbell, posted a series of explosive YouTube videos that sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community and beyond. Cree accused her pops of being a deadbeat dad, physically abusing her mother during their marriage, and emotionally abandoning her and her siblings despite his public claims of being a generous and devoted father. In the videos, Cree detailed alleged instances of domestic violence she witnessed as a kid, including Luke reportedly hitting her mother. She came at him hard for prioritizing his career and new family over his older children, leaving them feeling neglected and unsupported in their daily lives while he enjoyed fame and fortune. She highlighted what she saw as the glaring hypocrisy of Luke's public persona as a family man and community figure, while allegedly failing to provide consistent emotional presence behind closed doors. Luke initially addressed the allegations during a red carpet interview at the VH1 Hip Hop Honors, where he was promoting a 2 Live Crew reunion tour. He downplayed the accusations as exaggerated and suggested they came from unresolved family tensions and outside influences. But by late June 2010, the situation escalated dramatically when Luke publicly disowned most of his children, stating in interviews and blog posts that they hate him, rarely contact him on holidays or birthdays, and have been poisoned against him by their mothers. He emphasized that he had paid substantial child support, over $10 million collectively, and provided for their education and material needs, but felt deeply betrayed by their public attacks on his character. He framed the disownment as a necessary step for his own mental health and his current family's well-being. The beef drew significant backlash from the public, with some criticizing Luke's harsh disownment as immature and callous, while others sympathized with the complexities of maintaining relationships in blended families under the spotlight. As of 2026, there ain't been no public reports of reconciliation between Luke and Cree, leaving this as yet another example of how fame and family obligations can clash in devastating ways. While Uncle Luke's daughter called him out back in 2010, this next rapper's daughter waited until her own career took off before exposing her father's alleged failures. Benzino and daughter Coi Leray. The highly publicized beef between former Source magazine co-owner Benzino and his daughter, rising hip-hop artist Coi Leray, represents one of the most dramatic father-daughter conflicts in recent hip-hop history, playing out across social media for years. The tension ramped up heavy in April 2022, following Coi's appearance on The Breakfast Club, where she kept it real about growing up broke and implied her pops was broke during her childhood, which apparently triggered a whole chain reaction of drama. Following that interview, Benzino allegedly sent threatening texts to both Coi and her moms over the comments, which Coi exposed in emotional tweets and social media posts. She labeled her father as bitter and evil, accusing him of trying to sabotage her career rather than supporting her success. In one emotional video, Coi made it clear she had zero patience for her father trying to rewrite history.
Side, you still want to be bitter. That's why you burn all your relationships, my nigga. And that's why my career, yo, bro, I have to really bend my back and make sure niggas can fucking understand me as a person, because at the end to affect me. All that other personal shit he talking about, mansions and all that, everybody that's been in my life is fucking cap.
Coi also addressed the lack of basic communication from her pops, pointing out he failed to acknowledge important moments while simultaneously trying to benefit from her rising fame.
Let's talk about how I don't speak to you. You didn't wish me happy birthday on like damn near none of my birthdays. Didn't say happy Thanksgiving. Haven't spoke to you in months, but then try to get me to go on Growing Up Hip Hop. Right? Try to get me to go on Growing Up Hip Hop. Told me that they wasn't going to let you on it if it wasn't for me. They didn't want to pay me the money I wanted. After that, I never heard from you again. Never heard from you again.
The breaking point came in May 2024, when Benzino appeared on the Drink Champs podcast, making wild statements that Coi found completely unforgivable. She hit social media to announce she wanted nothing to do with anything my father has going on, officially disowning him and stating DNA doesn't make you family. As of January 2026, no reconciliation has occurred, and Coi kept focused on her music career and motherhood while maintaining distance from Benzino. While Coi Leray dealt with the pain of an absent absent and allegedly bitter father who was still alive, this next rapper's daughter also took to social media to expose what she described as ongoing emotional abuse from her famous father, Russell Simmons, and daughter Aoki Lee Simmons. The public beef between music mogul Russell Simmons and his youngest daughter, Aoki Lee Simmons, erupted dramatically over Father's Day weekend in June 2023, when Aoki hopped on Instagram to accuse her pops of years of verbal and emotional abuse. At just 20 years old and a recent Harvard graduate with a promising modeling career ahead of her, Aoki shared tearful videos, screenshots of heated text exchanges, and FaceTime recordings showing what she described as his erratic and hostile behavior toward her. In one video, Aoki explained the difficult position she found herself in, trying to build her own career while dealing with a father who she felt was actively working against her.
I moved out recently. And you know, a lot of people when I'm working and modeling, I'm so grateful. They'll say to me, oh, I met your dad 10 years ago. He's so wonderful. And I'm working, so I'm just like, yeah, I mean, there's great parts to him, and we used to be very close because that's how I make money to move out. He won't give me any money, which is fine. You don't have to give me money. I'm 20, I'm over 18, I don't know. But then I can't also speak out against him without him messing up my job.
Aoki detailed how Russell had allegedly become awful to her, causing severe panic attacks that required emergency medication. The conflict had apparently escalated after her older sister Ming Lee Simmons posted a Happy Father's Day tribute to their mother Kimora instead of Russell, which reportedly set him off. Aoki shared specific instances of alleged mistreatment, such as Russell calling her a pig during arguments, threatening to ruin her modeling career, and harassing her boyfriend and friends. Her mother, Kimora Lee Simmons, supported Aoki by reposting her content and adding her own accusations, labeling Russell's behavior as abuse and harassment while blasting him for his erratic conduct toward their kids. Russell responded with a mix of apologies and defenses on his Instagram, expressing love for his daughters while denying the severity of the claims and suggesting Kimora had turned the kids against him. By late 2023, the posts were deleted as public attention died down, but the underlying strain clearly persisted. Later reports in 2025 suggested some level of reconciliation following personal challenges in Aoki's life, though no full public resolution has been confirmed as of January 2026. While Aoki Lee Simmons dealt with alleged emotional abuse from a father who was very much present, this next case involves children who accuse their pops of being more devoted to his reality TV persona than to actual parenting. Kirk Frost and his children. The family drama surrounding love and hip-hop, Atlanta star Kirk Frost and his children, blew up during the show's 2016-2017 seasons, mainly stemming from the public revelation of his extramarital affair with Jasmine Washington, which resulted in the birth of their son Cannon in 2016. This betrayal completely shattered the family's dynamics, particularly affecting his marriage to Rasheeda Frost, and leading to widespread estrangement and criticism from his kids both on and off the show. Kirk got 7 children from various relationships, including older kids from prior partnerships and younger sons with Rasheeda. His eldest son, Christopher, had already been distant for years due to personal challenges, revealing in episodes that he hadn't seen his pops consistently since age 12, contributing to a decade-long estrangement that highlighted Kirk's perceived absence in his older children's lives, even before the affair scandal broke. The affair revelation sparked broader complaints from the children about Kirk being more of a TV parent, somebody who was present for film drama and business ventures, but uninvolved in everyday responsibilities like remembering school grades, attending events, or providing consistent emotional support when cameras weren't rolling. Jasmine Washington amplified these criticisms in 2019 social media rants and interviews, accusing Kirk and Rasheeda of being fake TV parents who scripted their family life for ratings while neglecting their actual children. She claimed Kirk wasn't as hands-on with Cannon as he appeared on camera, and failed to prioritize his well-being amid ongoing custody and child support disputes that played out behind the scenes. Kirk posted a public apology to Cannon in October 2025, admitting regret over external pressures and affirming his commitment to being a more present father, while Christopher later reconciled with Kirk around 2021, sharing emotional reunions on social media. The core 2016 affair remains the pivotal incident that exposed the challenges of raising a large blended family under reality TV's unforgiving spotlight. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.